Hello students, hello and welcome to this lesson on EDU754 Integrated Science Methods. My name is Dr. Moriliat Afolabi. I'll be taking you in this course for the next 8 weeks, and I pray that you'll be able to gain something as a teacher so that you can impact the same to your students. So, and I will employ you to sit tight, enjoy the lesson, and feel free to ask questions when it is necessary. In this course today, or in today's lesson, we are going to discuss some issues concerning the course guide, what you are supposed to know about your course, and what you are supposed to know in the course material before you start the course at all. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to state the contents of EDU754 in the course guide, then explain the nature of science, list processes of science, and explain scientific attitudes. We are going to take this thing one after the other. The first thing we are going to talk about is the course guide, what is expected of you in your course material. When you start this course, you'll be given a course material on EDU754, Integrated Science Methods. When you are given this course material, what is expected of you is to take the course material and go through the course guide, because the course guide is already in the course material. You take the course guide because it is going to guide you on how to walk through this course or how to go through the course material. So it is in the course guide, you have some components in the course guide. The major components in the course guide or in your course material are the course guide, the study units, the references, the assignments, and presentation schedule. What do we mean by all this? We said these are the major components in your course material. And when you are given this course material and you go through the course guide, you are going to see some of these components there. And what are these components for? To guide you for your course. The course guide is the first component that you are going to see in the course material. We said we are going to take them one after the other. The course guide, as I said, is already in your course material, and it is just on what you are supposed to know, or the way you are going to walk through this course material. The course guide gives you the guidelines on the amount of time, the time you are supposed to spend on each unit of the course. Because some students will start the course and they will spend more time in reading one unit. By the time they are supposed to complete a course, they have not gone halfway of the course material, which is not too good. So it is expected of you, the course guide will guide you on how the amount of time you are expected to spend on each unit of the course in order to complete this course successfully. The course guide also gives you some guidance on the tutor mark assignments. You have tutor mark assignments, that is the assignment you are supposed to do, that the marks or the scores you are going to get from it is going to add to your final examination. And that will make it easier for you to pass your exam. So the amount of time you are going to spend on the tutor mark assignment and the guideline on how to work on the unit are what the course guide is going to guide you about. And some other information that we need to complete the course, they are also in the course guide. Like I said, we have other component of the course material. We have talked about the course guide. We said it's going to guide you on the amount of time you are expected to spend on each unit. It will also guide you on the total mark assignments you are supposed to do for the course to enable you pass the course as a whole. And there are other informations that you get from the course guide. So it is always advisable that as you are starting this course, you should read your course guide very well and understand what you are into before you start the course at all. Then in the course guide or in the course material, we said we have other components like the study unit. The course EDU754 has 3 modules. Module 1 has 5 units. That is, in module 1, you have 5 units. In module 2, you also have 5 units. In module 3, you have 3 units. So in the whole course, you have 3 modules and you have 13 units. 3 modules and 13 units. So the study units in this course, you have 13 units to study. Now, the first thing you are going to do in the study unit is to look out for the objective. That is, what are you supposed to find out? In the first place, in every unit, there will be introduction. The introduction part will introduce you to the unit. Then you go to the objective. Objectives will tell you what you are going to achieve at the end of reading or studying the first unit or any unit you come across at all. Let's say unit 1. In unit 1, the objectives that you are going to achieve in that unit is going to be stated. When it is stated, it is expected of you as students to go through these objectives. What am I supposed to know in this unit? You are supposed to find out from the objective. When you know it, then you know when you start reading, you know what you're going to achieve at the end of that unit. So every unit has its own objective, and that is why it is expected of you that when you are going through the 13 units of the course material, you will know all the objectives that are expected of you to be achieved. Then we have references as another component of the course material. The references are the ones that will lead you to other informations, other books, other references, other things that will make you understand the course very well. There are other things that are not in the course material. When you go to other references, other books, other links, you'll be able to read and understand any topic that you don't understand very well in the course material. Then it will make you understand the topic very well. So that is the essence of putting references in the course material. Please, when you look at your course guide and you see references, don't ignore them. If you see them, don't ignore them. You can still have links there. Don't ignore any links because they can help you and lead you to where you can easily understand what you are supposed to learn. Then we have another part of the course material, which is called the assessment, the assignment component. In the assignment component, it will give you the amount of the type of assignment you are supposed to be given. For the 13 units, you are expected to have the minimum of 13 assignments, which means every unit has its own assignment. Every unit has its own assignment. When you are able to understand this unit very well and you get the assignments done, then you will not have any problem with your TMA because every assignment has its own importance. Now, we have known about the components of the course material. We said one of the components is the course guide, another one is the study units, another one is the references, which is very important. Then we have the assignment. In the assignment, we have said that you have a series of assignments to be given to you in your assignment file, where you have your TMA, you have some self-assessment exercises that you will practice to make you write your final exam very well. Then we have presentation schedule. In this presentation schedule, the time you are going to spend for the exam, the dates for the exam will be given to you. The date for TMA will be given there. The date for tutorial will be given. The date for the final exams will be given in that presentation schedule. It is going to be a form of file. You may be given at the beginning of the course, or you may be given during the course. If you are given at the beginning of the course, what it means is that you will need to know all these dates so that you will not miss out any time. If by any reason you will not be able to comply or sit for any exam or TMA, which the university will always find hard, you have to inform your facilitator and it must be a very good reason or cogent reason for you not to write any exam or to follow the date that has been given to you. If you miss any exam by chance, it means you have to go for the course another time. So, and no student wants to do that. So that is why it is very important. This lesson we are giving you now is very important so that you'll be able to understand what is expected of you. All dates are very important, especially dates of exams, dates of tutorials, dates of TMA, because if you miss out any one, it means you have missed out a lot of scores or marks that will make you not to graduate. So you have to take all those dates very, very important. Then we have talked about assignments. These are all about what is very necessary for you to know about the course guide. The course guide is already in the course material. I don't want to be the only person that will be talking in this forum. Now that I've already told you about the course guide, if you have any question before we go to the next thing that we are going to do for today, you can ask and let me know what you want to know about the course guide. Ekudayo.
Thank you so much. Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma. I just wanted to say that there's no soft copy there's no course material anywhere online yet. I'm yet to get my hard copy of my study material, but I just noticed that there's nothing on 754 online currently, ma'am.
You are very right. In fact, we are working on that one seriously, but in most cases, like I said, I will post, because we are going to create a forum. If you are the only one that is attending this lesson now, I'm sure it's because I don't know most of your numbers, your phone numbers. If I had known your numbers, I would have called you as individual so that I can get to you and inform you. We form a forum on maybe WhatsApp or any other forum that we can be communicating with one another. Because what I noticed is that some people did not even reply the mail I sent to them, which means some have not even accessed the mail. If you have not accessed your mail, it means you may not be able to know what is going on today. So if you are able to do that, I will give you some topics that you are going to work with during the forum, maybe discussion forum, or our WhatsApp group, if we are able to create one, which is very, very important for us to create. Then there's the course material that we have for EDU754. I think is old, and we are trying to review it. So the review is already on the way, and I'm the chairperson of the web committee, luckily. So as soon as the review is complete very soon, it's not going to take long, I'm going to upload it for the students to be able to access. But that is why it is even very important for you now to take this course very serious, so that this facilitation will assist you. But there are other, and I'll give you a link to other course materials or some other materials that can help you, because most of these science courses, they are interwoven. they are interrelated, so that if you are not able to get it in one particular course material, you can get it in another course material. Because in science, what is science? When they ask you what is science is what is science, either in EDU754 or in EDU254 or in EDU252 or in EDU752. Science is science. So I'm going to refer you to some of these materials as time goes on, so that you'll be able to get something before we get our own course material online. Then as soon as I get back and I see my HOD to find out the course material that can be relevant to this course, I will get back to you in the next forum where we are going to meet for this discussion. So is there any other thing that is bothering you?
No, not at all. Thank you, ma. That would be very helpful once we have the group set up and the link.
No problem. You will get them as soon as I promise you, because I'm the web chairperson and I'm supposed to be in charge of uploading of course materials for the faculty. So I assure you that my students cannot be left out of the goodies of this particular thing. So that will be better. Now, I've already told you the importance of a course guide, even though you have not seen any in EDU754. But I'm sure you must have seen it in other courses you are taking, if I'm not mistaken. Now, why do you feel it is important to read or to go through your course guide before you start the lesson at all? Ekundayo.
Thank you, ma'am. I think, like you said, it gives direction. It gives one thing that I found very useful previously is the references. So the course guide helped give direction. For me, it also helped me plan my time, being very well.
Okay, that's very
Thank
good.
you.
It guides you, like I said, it will give you like guidelines on the time you are supposed to allot to every unit. Because like I said, some students will use a lot of time in 1 or 2 units, and before they know it, the time must have passed and half of the period has gone. And before the exam, you'll be rushing to finish up the course and it may be too late. So you have your time allotted to each unit, so that you follow the time. No matter how hard your work schedule at your working place, you try and meet up so that lapses or you not lag behind. I hope you understand. Then it guides you again on the dates or the time that you're supposed to do your tutor mark assignments, to give you insights on your TMA, how to go about them, what to do, the dates that you're supposed to do one thing or the other will be in the course guide. Even if it is not written specifically in the course guide, like the date, you will be communicated and you'll be able to note down the time. So the course guide is very important, and it is good for you to read it before you start there are other informations too. So it's important to read it before you start the course at all. So thank you. Now, we have said so much on the course guide, because this is the first lesson or this first topic for this online is to guide you on how to read, like I said. Now, but we still have more time for today's online facilitation. So we are going to add some little thing that will help us as scientists. As science teachers, there are things you are supposed to know about science, especially what is science? What is science? We are saying integrated science. Science. What is it? What is that science? We know that science is a body of organized knowledge. It's a body of knowledge. Why do they call it body of knowledge? Because we know that in science, you don't just assume. You don't take things for granted. You don't look at things and say it in your own way. You say it the way you see it. Even when you see it today and tomorrow you come across it and it is not that way, you look at it and you observe it and you say it the way you have seen it. And that is why they say it is body of organized knowledge. Now, the next topic we are discussing here, what that brought us to what is science, is the nature of science. We know that we are discussing science. What is the nature of science? What is the nature of this science? Nature of science, as well as science education curriculum reforms in Nigeria, give rise to integrated science. It is the nature of science and the curriculum that we have in science that give rise to integrated science that we are talking about, because it is the subjects are integrated, like we have physics, chemistry, biology. In some cases, they put agricultural science, they put other subjects, like geography, some people put geology, astronomy, different subjects that are related to science as science. And we cannot, like we said, to be teaching all these, especially in the junior classes, to be teaching all these concepts, all these subjects to the young ones. How do we do it? Nigerian curriculum developers now decided that let us integrate all these subjects. You integrate them and make it one subject called integrated science. So what is the nature of this science, which is integrated science? What do we need to know? What is it what makes it integrated? What is the nature of science? What are we supposed to know about science that makes it integrated in integrated science? As teachers, we are supposed to know all that. And that is what we are going to discuss today. Like we have said, we have some phenomenon that is not natural or unnatural. But you know that science can make it natural? Science can make it natural. You can see some things that are, you feel it is not normal. You can, let's say you had blue to red, and maybe they sell is another color. I don't want to mention any color that is not correct, but you know that we mix colors. When we mix colors, two colors, it gives us another color. Of course, in nature, blue is blue, red is red. But nature, science will now mix the two together and give you another color. That other color is considered to be natural, because the two that you combine together, say it's not possible to have these two things and you get another one. You mix two and you get one. You'll be wondering, two must be two, but this is two and it's giving you one. It means it's giving you something that is not natural and it's becoming natural. So we want to know what we are supposed to do as scientists to be able to make unnatural situations to be natural. Science is an attempt to explain natural phenomena. Science is a body of organized knowledge acquired through a process of inquiry. Of course, you have said body of knowledge, but how do you acquire this body of knowledge? You have to inquire. You find out. You find out. Blue plus red is something. You cannot know that blue plus red is something unless you find out. And that is why they say it's a body of knowledge. It's an organized body of knowledge through process of inquiry. You find out. In science, you find out before you conclude. They are all the nature of science. Science is a continuous search. You continue to search. I told you that if you see something today and you feel that thing is a green, or don't let me use color this time. You have seen you put your eba outside for about 3 days. The third day, you did not notice anything. The fourth day, you know there will be something. So the third day when you did not notice anything, you have observed something, you put it down. This is what you have seen. There's nothing, no difference. The fifth day, when you go there, you cannot tell anybody that eba is still the same thing. Are you getting what I'm saying? Ekudayo. Hello, are you there? Ekudayo, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. My network.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm here, ma'am.
So that is why it is a continuous search. You continue to look for it, to find out. The third day, nothing there. The fifth day, there's something. So you cannot base your research on the first day or the third day that you did not see anything. And that is why we said it is a continuous search. You continue to search until you finally get to the root of whatever you are looking for. So science is a continuous search for adequate methods of understanding phenomena that is in our environment or that surrounds us. Then the nature of science is making natural. When finding or determining the facts about nature, you need some methods to determine them, which is called the method or processes of science. Now, I've told you, you are searching for something, there must be method of searching. There must be method. They said, as a scientist, you need some methods to determine or to find out. This method of determination or finding out about something is called the process or methods of science. Are you getting what I'm saying? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So these processes, what are these processes? As scientists, when you want to find out something, we said you need methods of science, you need some methods to find out. What are the methods? The methods includes, before you search for anything or before you find out anything, you have to identify what is the problem that you want to solve. Before you search for anything, there must be problem. There must be problem. You have to identify that problem. If there's no problem, you cannot just start doing something. Maybe in a school, this school, they are not passing well in chemistry. That is the problem. If they are passing well in chemistry, you don't need to go there and find out anything. They are not passing well, that's the problem. You identify the problem. When you identify the problem, it is a process or it's a method of finding out. When you identify, there are some other methods or processes. You observe, observation is a process. Classification is a process. You gather your students to carry bottles, these plastic bottles from their surrounding. They bring them to your class and you ask them to classify them into Coca-Cola bottle, Fanta bottle, Sprite bottles. So they have to classify. You put them in their different categories, and that is a process. It's a process of separating something or dividing something into in different classes. So we identify problem, you observe. When you identify, you observe something, there are processes or methods of science. Measuring. You come to the class, ask your student to measure, because you want to know the exact measure, either length or distance or weight or volume. They are still measurements. Let them measure. When they measure, it's a process of finding out something. And we call it scientific process. Scientific process. Then you predict. You have measured something, you have found out at this volume, what can it be? You predict. When next you see something similar to what you have done, you can predict. It's part of processes. You can analyze, you infer, you synthesize, you describe, you experiment. These are the processes of science. When carrying out these processes, the major one, the simplest process of science is observation. When you see something, of course, before you can do any other thing, the first thing when you see something is to observe. When you observe is the simplest process of science. You observe. When carrying out these processes, an individual develops certain attitude. When you are carrying out something, when you want to do a process, when you want to do something, you have methods of doing something. You get some attitude. These attitudes are called scientific attitudes. Scientific attitudes. Before you can do any method of science, or you can do some processes of science, you must have some scientific attitude. You know, if you look at the whole world or people around you, you discover that even some people that are not scientists, their attitudes are different from the attitudes of science people. Am I talking?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you can see that as scientist or science teacher, you must have some attitudes. These attitudes, we want you to impact it into your students, that as science students, they must have scientific attitudes. And what are these scientific attitudes? You suspend judgment. You don't just see something and say, ah, this boy is a liar. No, until he lies to you. That is why if you look at something, you suspend your judgment until you find out. Then you have other scientific attitudes like parsimony, curiosity, honesty. They are attitudes of scientists. Honesty, curiosity, parsimony, judgment suspension, and some other ones like that. Skepticism. A lot of them like that. They are scientific attitudes that scientists must acquire before you can carry out anything. Let us briefly learn more about these attitudes and what they entail. Like curiosity. Before any scientist starts any project, he must have been very curious. You are curious, you want to find out something. Yes, let me do something very important. You are curious. And what you are curious to do it, you must have been very, very curious about that relationship or phenomenon. So you become eager to find out about that particular thing. That is curiosity. It means you are curious, you are eager to find out. Scientists must be curious. It's part of the scientific attitude. Then, apart from curiosity, you discover that a scientist, you must be open-minded. Open your mind. Don't be sentimental about something. You open your mind, open-mindedness. You want to find out something, you must be open-minded. Don't judge anything. Open your mind to find out. And scientists carry out investigation in science without personal bias. You don't have to be biased about anything. You don't have to be sentimental. Prejudice must not be there. So all these things, if you're able to do it, then your science attitude must be there before you start any process or any method. Then we have objectivity. It's part of scientific attitude. You must be objective. You know the difference between objective and subjective. Ekundayo, are you there? Hello? Ekundayo.
Sorry, ma'am. I did not realize I was still on mute. Yes, so to be objective means that you look at things without I don't want to say without being biased, but when you are subjective, you are like, you already have a direction, you're already having a thought, or you already have a thought that this thing should be this way, and so you are looking at it in that lens.
No, if you look at it in that way, if you say this thing must be this way, it means you are subjective. So if you want to be objective, you look at things and say it the way it is.
Yes, ma'am. That's
objectivity. You say it the way it is. But if you are subjective, you are looking at it as if it should be like this. No objectivity. So to be objective is to see something the way it is supposed to be. The scientist is objective about the outcome and conclusion if you are not biased. You have said it. You said you should not be biased. Yeah, that is very true. You should not be biased about anything. When you see it, you must be very, very objective. Empirism. And this is finding out by doing. You want to find out something, you must do it before you find out. I will not say I want to find out how a ice block melts. I will not say, Kundayo, you tell me how ice block melts. Then it means I'm not empirical about it. I have to do it myself. I need to find out. As scientists, that is what you find out by doing. You find out by doing. The product of science such as laws, theories, results, conclusion, they are done by finding out by yourself. If you ask somebody to find out for you, like let me give you an example, Charles' law, Boyle's law, and other theories that we know about. You know that all these theories, you cannot just accept them. That is why when you go to the laboratory now, the teacher will say, we want to verify Boyle's law. We want to verify Charles' law. What are we trying to do? We want to be objective. We want to do it by ourselves. Charles have said that Boyle's law states that the volume of a gas is inversely proportional to the pressure. PV is equal to constant. That's what he said. We know it like that, but we want to verify it because we cannot just take what he has said. That is why when you come to the lab, we say, oh yeah, we want to verify Boyle's law. We want to verify Charles' law and some other laws like that. And that is why empirism comes in. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So all these laws, theories, conclusions that are arrived at, they are based on evidence gotten directly or indirectly from an experiment. So as a scientist, you find out about them. We'll not flog too much about these ones because I will still give you some assignment to find out about other scientific attitudes that you need to know, and you know their meanings. So we have said it, we have objectivity, curiosity, humility, skepticism, open-mindedness. Now, we have explained all that, and what we have said so far is that we have the nature of science. That is, the nature of science is now described using three basic elements. The nature of science is described using three basic elements. You remember the topic we are treating after the course guide is nature of science. We are now saying that this nature of science has three basic elements. The basic elements that we have discussed about, they are the process of science, the attitudes of science, and the products of science. The processes of science, we said they are observation, identify problem, measuring, classifying, inferring, experimenting, and the rest of them. And we now said, before you can do these processes, you must have some attitudes, which are scientific attitudes. These scientific attitudes are honesty, objectivity, parsimony, empirism, and some others. So those are the attitudes of scientists, open-mindedness, and some other ones. Now, the product of science, when you have methods of science and you have your attitude of carrying out research, and you have the processes you have to follow, of course, you are going to come out with theories, with conclusion, with results. These results and theories, laws, conclusions are what we call the product of science. So we have three elements: the processes of science, the product of science, and the attitude of science. The processes of science are called scientific process. The attitudes of science are called scientific attitudes. And the product of science are called scientific products. For a scientist that has these skills, that knows about the methods or processes of science, they will have, by the time you have your attitude, you know the processes to take, and you came out with products, then it means you have scientific skills. I hope you are getting what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So when you apply all these methods in acquiring scientific knowledge, you will then develop scientific skills. These skills are called scientific skills. In the process of learning science, students are involved in many activities in the classroom. In the process of learning science, you'll be involved in activities in the classroom. These activities will develop in the students scientific skills of observation. We have said it, measuring, recording, classifying. When they acquire these skills, they will develop scientific attitudes of honesty, humility, parsimony, and the rest of them. In teaching and learning about science, students will acquire language of science. When you are teaching your students science, they will acquire the language of science. They will know theories. They will know methods. They will know history. You tell them history. Like in this course, you are going to tell about the history of integrated science in Nigeria. Then you know traditions, you know values. These are called scientific products. Which are the products of science? The scientific methods as well as the scientific attitudes bring about the product of science. The processes, attitudes, and products of science combine to give science its nature. Ekundayo, this is going to be the end of this lesson for today. But before we go, I want you to ask your questions before I give you my assignment for your for the next lesson. So do you have any question to ask about the nature of science?
Hello, ma.
I'm
Hello.
hearing you. Yes,
Hello.
so I'm hearing you.
Hello.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. No. I lost you a bit there.
You did what?
The network was unstable.
Okay, that's the problem of this online facilitation. But
continue, ma. Sorry for that.
I said that I've finished. I've taught you how to go through your course guide, and we have asked questions on that. Now we have discussed nature of science. Do you have any questions there? Before I give you my assignment.
No, I don't.
Eh?
No, happy to take the assignment, ma.
You're happy to take the assignment. So your assignment, for your assignment, do you have your biro and paper there? I know you must have your biro and paper. If you don't have, then you are not a good student.
Yes.
So now for your assignment.
You are right.
Oh, okay. So for your assignment, what do you understand by scientific attitude? That is number one.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to put it. I'm supposed to put it on to share the question on this screen, but by the next lesson we'll be doing that. Take it down for today.
Okay, ma.
What do you understand by scientific attitudes? Or do I put it in the chat box?
Anyone is fine, ma. I'm taking it down already.
Okay, so then have you done that?
Yes. What do I understand by scientific attitudes?
Good. Then number two.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to take a block of ice.
Okay.
Take a block of ice.
Okay.
And place it on a plate.
Okay.
Record what happened after 10 minutes.
Okay.
Then remove the ice block and put it in a pot on fire.
Okay.
Record your observation after 10 minutes.
Okay.
Have you written that?
Yes, ma'am. I have it.
You are very fast. Then identify what process skills and attitudes used in carrying out this simple experiment.
Identify what processes and
identify what process skills and attitudes used in carrying out this simple experiment.
Okay, ma. I have that.
So in the next lesson, that is what I'm going to give you. What you are going to give me when we come to the next lesson. And with this one, I think we have come to the end of this lesson.
Thank you so much.
I remain your facilitator, Dr. Moriliat Afolabi. Until next time or next lesson when we are going to meet, I say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, ma.
But next lesson, I want to see your face live.
Okay.
Not a picture. So this is what I want to be seeing. You are in your car. Well done.
Yes, ma.
That is why it is online.
Yes,
it can meet you anywhere. So till next time, bye.
Bye-bye, ma. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.